Naishtike. Hare Krishna. So today verse we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10 and Text 22. Please let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can see.
Thank you. Bodhyamanasya rishibir atmanastajjigrikshatah karno cha nirabhityetam tisha srotram gunagrahah. Bodhyamanasya rishibir atmanastajjigrikshatah karno cha nirabhityetam tisha srotram gunagrahah. बोध्यमानस्य ऋषिभिर् आत्मनस्तज्जिगृक्षतः कर्णो च निरभ्येतां दिश श्रोत्रं गुणग्रहः. Devotees, please. Anyone wants to recite?
Bodhyamanasya rishibir atmanastad-jigrishchatah karnau cha niravidyetam disha srotram gunagraha. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Anyone else want to recite?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Udhyamanasya rishibhi atmanastajigrishatah karno cha nirvideta dishasrotam gunagraha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Buddhamanasya rishivir atmanastaj jigrashatah karnau cha nirabhidetyatam disha shotram gunograha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So let's go to synonyms. Bodhyamanasya, desiring to understand, Rishivi, by the authorities, Atmanaha, of the Supreme Being, Tat, that, Jigrikshataha, when he desired to take up, Karnau, the ears, Cha, also, Nirabhidyetam, become manifested, Dishaha, the direction or god of air, Shrotram, the power of hearing, Gunagraha, and the objects of hearing. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanandasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation: by the development of the desire, the great sages to know the ears, the power of hearing, the controlling deity of hearing, and the objects of hearing became manifested. The great sages desire to hear about the self. Purport: as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, by advancement of knowledge, one should try to know about the Supreme Lord, the summum bonum of everything. Knowledge does not mean knowledge only of the laws of nature or physical knowledge, which are working by the direction of the Lord. The scientists are eager to hear about the physical laws working in material nature. They are eager to hear through the medium of radio and television about things taking place far away from them on another planet. But they should know that the power of hearing and the instruments of hearing were given to them by the Lord for hearing about the self or about the Lord. Unfortunately, the power of hearing is misused in hearing the vibrations of the mundane affairs. The great sages were interested in hearing about the Lord through Vedic knowledge and nothing more. That is the beginning of oral reception of knowledge. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामाख्यं ददाति स्म पदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाशति गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरं। Hare Krishna translation. By the development of the desire of the great sages to know the ears, the power of hearing, the controlling deity of hearing, and the objects of hearing became manifested. The great sages desired to hear about the self. So here we are seeing the creation of this material world. So how the material world is created. So one after another. So the different parts of the body which is manifesting, and also the different controlling deities of the deities are manifesting. So in that, so today we are seeing which is the ears, the power of hearing, and the controlling deities for them is getting manifested. So the reason which is mentioned here is by the development of the desire of the great sages to know. So that's why this power of hearing, it is manifesting. So the great sages always wants to hear about the self. So which is mentioned here. So it means that about the self-realization. So understanding our own nature. So understanding about our sambandha. So sambandha, abhideya, prayojan. So our sambandha, what is our first, who are we? And then what is my sambandha with the Lord? And what is a process to attain him? So what is a goal and what is a process to attain him? And then finally attaining the goal. So in that, the first process is sambandha. To create the sambandha, we should hear. We should hear. It's natural, right? Even it is not spiritual. Even in material life, if we wanted to know about someone, so we should hear about them. We should, if we want to go to a particular place, so we should hear about that place, how that place, and how that place looks like. So all these things, so just by hearing, we develop the attraction. I want to go there. Oh, that place, this place is so beautiful, and I heard like this, so we can all go. So all these things, it's happening just starting with a hearing, right? So the power of hearing is very specifically stressed in this verse. So hearing is very important, and the great sages are interested in hearing about the self. So that means about the self-realization. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned here that, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, by the advancement of knowledge, one should try to know about the Supreme Lord, the summum bonum of everything. So, so knowledge means that we should understand about the Supreme Lord. That is a real knowledge in this material world. So they think that studying, becoming a scientist, or like when getting PhD and all those things, so they think that is a great knowledge in the society. That's how we are getting respected because of that knowledge. But that knowledge is going to be vanished, and once this body is done. So when we take next body, we can't say that, oh, I finished my PhD in my last life. This life I want to continue. We can't say. We have to start from ABCD. So that's how, similarly, the knowledge means understanding this Supreme Lord. So that is a very important knowledge. There is no knowledge beyond this. And here Prabhupada also says that scientists are eager to hear about the physical laws working in material nature. And also before that, he pointed out that the knowledge means not just the knowledge of laws of nature or physical knowledge, which are working by the direction of the Lord. So all the knowledge is actually all the physical knowledge or the laws of nature. So everything is actually working under the direction of the Lord. So it is not working on its own, right? So they wanted to know the object which is actually working under the direction of the Lord, but they don't want to know who is behind that creation, right? So and that's what the scientists are eager to hear through the medium of radio and television, to know about things which is far away, which is on the different planets, right? So they wanted to know what is there in other planet, and they wanted to explore more about other planets, and they want to hear, sorry, so they want to hear all those things. So but they should know that the power of hearing and the instruments for hearing is actually given by the Lord. So, and why the Lord gave this power of hearing? To know about the knowledge of self, or to know about the Lord. So that is a purpose that Lord actually gives this power of hearing, not to hear about the mundane vibrations of social news or political news or um, sports news or all these things. So that is not the reason that Lord gave this power of hearing. So the power of hearing purpose is to hear about the Supreme Lord, or hear about ourselves, about the self-realization. So that is the purpose that the Lord gave this hearing, uh, the ears, the power of hearing. So that's why here particularly it is mentioned that the great sages. So whoever is basically interested in spiritual knowledge, so they wanted to hear more about the spiritual world, and more about themselves, and also about the Lord. And this is the beginning of oral reception of knowledge. So this is what the knowledge begins. So basically we also acquire knowledge through our ear. That is one of the knowledge acquiring senses, right? So one of the knowledge acquiring senses through hearing, and we develop attraction or anything that through hearing only. So that's why it is mentioned that this is the beginning of the oral reception. So we should use this power of hearing to uplift ourselves and not downgrade ourselves. So but in this material world, so most of the people are actually using this hearing for listening to mundane music and mundane movies and all those things. So that is not the purpose for this creation. So if we, whatever we got, if we utilize for, then we will be able to uplift ourselves. Otherwise, we will get downgrade. And so today is actually very auspicious day of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur disappearance day, and also Shri Gadadhar Pandit disappearance day. And so I was thinking this is a right verse which actually describes about power of hearing. And also it is mentioned about power of hearing about the Lord and also about ourselves. Yes, but more than that, hearing about the pure devotees is very, very purifying. So, and because Bhagavatam, there are two types of Bhagavatam. So one is book Bhagavatam and another is person Bhagavatam. So book Bhagavatam that we just read, and now we will go deep dive into the person Bhagavatam, because it is our good fortune that our acharyas, to listen about our acharyas itself is a great fortune. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. It says that in third canto, 13th chapter, fourth verse, it talks about if someone actually studies Shastra for very long time. So it is given. So it's not that we can hear about the uh, no, about the history or the pastimes of the pure devotees so easily. Not everyone will get chance to hear about the pure devotees. Bhakta Charitra. Bhakta Charitra is so important that by hearing, just by studying the Bhakta Charitra, one can become a devotee. They don't have to study Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Just by studying Bhakta Charitra, one can become devotee. How? Because they are the person Bhagavata, right? So there are many incidents that I personally see that by just studying Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita, even that person doesn't know about Bhagavad Gita or anything, but just by studying Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita, many people become the devotees. That is the difference between the historical person or the devotees. So when we study about the devotees' life history, their pastimes, their attraction towards the Lord, so that actually increases the love in our heart. So that's why it is also very important for the devotees that we should make an attempt to study the Bhakta Charitra. So it is because that, and also it is mentioned that when we study Bhakta Charitra, what happens is, so we will also get or imbibe the qualities of those devotees by just studying, right? So that is also one of the benedictions, we can say. So by just studying about this is natural, right? Like even if you are studying some mundane books, so many people study, there is a very famous book, uh, what is that? Harry Potter. Harry Potter. So these people like so much addiction towards this Harry Potter, and when they study, what happened? They just become the Harry Potter, right? They become that model. So because they are always in that connection by studying and by attraction, and they wanted to become that Harry Potter. They wanted to become that the role that what they are studying or what they are seeing. So this is natural for us. So that's why when we study Bhakta Charitra, then what happened, like we want to imbibe that quality of a devotee. So that's why today I, with all your permission and blessings, I take this opportunity to glorify Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Shri Gadadhar Pandit on this auspicious day of their disappearance. And of course there is no difference between the appearance and disappearance of a Vaishnava. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur only says he reasons ill when someone says the Vaishnava dies. So that means like Vaishnava never dies. So basically the soul never dies, right? So, but a pure devotee who lived his whole life in distributing this mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, definitely they never die. So they live eternally in their teachings, in their instructions. So that's why Srila Prabhupada always says, I never die. I am always in my books. If you read my book, we can get the association of Srila Prabhupada. Right? So this is true. And many people experience that. So that's how like these acharyas, when they come and disappear. So that's why we say disappearance day. We don't say they died. Because death is for the conditioned soul. But disappearance is how it is disappearance. Why we are saying like the same thing we compare to Lord's appearance also. So Lord's appearance is compared to the sun, right? So when the sun appear and disappear, we will say like that only. We will not say that sun died. So we know that because sun is disappearing here, that means it is appearing somewhere. So similarly, Lord disappeared here. That means they are appearing somewhere. So Lord is appearing in another universe and he is performing another pastime there. So similarly, Lord and his devotees. So there is very mild. Like that's why we always say Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. So Guru, of course, a Guru is considered like Krishna himself said that there is that we should not differentiate a guru as an ordinary person. So he should be respected as we respect the Supreme Lord. So similarly, pure devotees also. So guru is also a pure devotee, and similarly, there are many pure devotees may not be a guru, but still they are actually guru because we are learning from them. So definitely they are also, and guru means it's not one person. So it is a guru tattva. So everyone is actually a guru, representing actually Shri Balaramji. So so that's how, like, when so Bhagavatam says that if someone studies Shastra for very long time, then when Krishna pleased with that study, then what Krishna gives? Krishna gives us the opportunity to hear about pure devotees. And how we can understand that Krishna is pleased and we are able to hear? When we develop the taste for hearing about the pure devotees. That taste, when it develops, we want to hear about our acharyas, our Sar Goswamis, and there are many, many lifetimes. Like we can, when we deep dive, like we will be amazed, like how much attraction they have. So very fortunately, by the mercy of our temple president Divyanam Prabhu, we could able to study the Bhakta Charitra. This was started here, so we could able to study about Narottam Das Thakur life history, and we just recently finished Haridas Thakur, his life history, and now we started about His Holiness Bhakticharya Swami Maharaj, Ocean of Mercy. So this should be also our part of our congregation study, because when we study Bhagavatam, this basically brings all of us together to get attracted to the Lord as a community. So similarly, when we study about the Bhakta Charitra and their dealings with other devotees, so they are person Bhagavata, right? So they are teaching us how to actually deal with other devotees. So when something happened, like how to handle it. So they are actually teaching through their life history. So when we study that, it was really amazing that how the attraction for the Lord they have. So especially like I just wanted to, like, might be going out of topic, but it was so amazing that when we read about Narottam Das Thakur, that how it is mentioned that Narottam Das Thakur traveled from Keturi to Vrindavan, and on the way, like how much struggle he is taking to meet to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after he went and then he heard about, like, Rupa Goswami left and then Sanatan Goswami left, disappeared from this world. So, and then actually he wrote all these bhajans that Jay Anilo Premadhana Karuna Prachur. So that bhajan, like he wrote in that mood. So that's why when we study these scriptures and uh, when we sing those bhajans, then we will come into that mood of separation. There's this mood of separation for our acharyas, which actually very, very helpful for our bhakti to increase. So because attraction to the devotees is actually the path to attraction to the Lord. Without attraction to the devotees, we cannot achieve Krishna Prema. So when we want to achieve Krishna Prema, we have to get Prema for our devotees, for our fellow devotees. If we don't love our fellow devotees, how come we can love Krishna? Right? So that is very important. So that's why we should study the Bhakta Charitra. And also, one more point is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Tirtha Kurvanti Tirthani, because the devotees always carry Krishna in their heart. Wherever they go, that becomes the Tirtha. So, to such devotees, when we study, so we can also develop that quality and love for the Lord. So, and I will start with Gadadhar Pandit. So, Gadadhar Pandit, so everyone knows that Gadadhar Pandit is one of the Panchatattva, and he is the actually appearance of, actually, he's an incarnation of Srimati Radharani. And so, he's a Hladini Shakti, internal potency of Sri Krishna. So, Gadadhar Pandit is very, very sober from his life, from his childhood. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is opposite. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very naughty in his childhood, and he challenge, he debate, he calls for debate, like, and based on Nyaya Shastra. So he wants to prove, like, logically, and he debate many, many pandits, scholars, And in that, we all know the famous Keshav Kashmiri. So he also got defeated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when he was doing all these things, so Gadadhar Pandit always actually he goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he always says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Nimai Pandit. So Nimai Pandit, like, why are you wasting your life in uh, this all logical arguments and all those things? So this is not going to help. Like, please chant. Like, that is the only way that we can able to achieve. So actually, of course, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came for that purpose, but this is just we can see Gadadhar Pandit as in the mood of Radharani. So she always wants Krishna to revive, like, what purpose you came, that's what you have to do. So in that way, like, their relationship between Gadadhar Pandit and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very deep. So Radharani wants to be always with Krishna, and but somehow in the gopis, in the Dwaraka, in the Dwapara Yuga, so Radharani could not able to be, and she was separated, and that separation was so difficult. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, okay, the next I'm coming as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when you come with me as Gadadhar Pandit, you can be always with me, because as a lady, she cannot be with Krishna all the time unless they have a uh, legal connection. So for this material world, but as a Prabhus, like in the body of a male, it is there is no restriction. So that's why in this way, Radharani is taking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's association constantly in the body of Gadadhar Pandit. So Gadadhar Pandit, so finally, like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got initiation from Ishwara Puri, and then he developed his bhav for Krishna. So the mad of devotion rises in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He started actually behaving so madly for love of Krishna. He always asked Gadadhar, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And then Gadadhar Pandit will actually try to convince Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually Krishna is in your heart. So don't worry, Krishna is in your heart. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, oh, Krishna is in my heart. I want to see Krishna in my heart. And he was literally, with his nails, he was trying to open his heart. I want to see. Where is he? He's in my heart. I want to see. Literally, he was doing that. And Sachi Mada, by seeing this, so she was feeling so bad, like, oh, my son is actually hurting himself because of the mad of devotion. So I have to do something, but she can't able to convince. But then Gadadhar Pandit, so he actually know how to convince, or he know how to convince Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So finally he said, like, Gadadhar Pandit, Krishna is going to appear. He is going to appear soon. So, and then finally Chaitanya Mahaprabhu get pacified. So by seeing this, Sachimata appreciated Gadadhar Pandit, and she requested Gadadhar Pandit that you have to stay all the time with my son. Whatever it is, so you have to stay with all the time with my son and take care of my son, because only you can able to pacify him. No one else can able to pacify. And because, of course, as we know, Radharani is the only person who can able to pacify Krishna. So no one else can do it. So, and then Gadadhar Pandit actually took Kshetra Sannyas, that he will not leave that, basically that dham, Jagannath Puri dham. He took that sannyas. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to go to Vrindavan, so that time, like, Gadadhar Pandit wants to come along with him, but since he took Kshetra sannyas, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you should not leave Jagannath Puri, because that is the vow that he have took, that he will never leave that Jagannath Puri dham. So that's why he was not allowed, and then finally he can't able to do anything. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left. Immediately Gadadhar Pandit fainted. So that's the love, that deep love he had for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also we know, like, how in Gadadhar Pandit actually, when he was took to see a devotee, Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi, when he see Pundarik Vidyanidhi, initially he was thinking, because Pundarik Vidyanidhi is a king. So he was sitting in a royal throne and he was receiving like chamar and so much material opulence. So when Gadadhar Pandit see this, so he thought that what is this? They said he is a pure devotee, but he is um, experiencing all material opulences. So what is the pure devotee? In his mind he thought. And then like when someone describe about the Lord's pastime, so just by listening to pastime of Krishna, so he immediately fainted. So then he understand, Gadadhar Pandit understand how Pundarik Vidyanidhi is so high in his devotion. So how could I offend him in my mind? Like I thought very low about him. He's not a devotee, but I did a great offense towards him. He just did in his mind, like he did not say, but still it is an offense. So he felt so bad and he felt so guilty about offending Pundarik Vidyanidhi in his mind. And then in order to overcome that, he accepted Pundarik Vidyanidhi as his spiritual master. And who is this Pundarik Vidyanidhi? He is none other than Vrishabhanu Maharaj, Radharani's eternal father. So Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So that's how this connection that it works, like Radharani as a Gadadhar Pandit. So he acts as a spiritual father in the name of a spiritual master. So he accepts Pundarik Vidyanidhi as his spiritual master. So and then finally he actually spent his final pastimes also with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All the time he will be always with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because anyway Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not go to Vrindavan as per the request of Sachi Mata. So he stayed in Jagannath Puri. And then every day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to hear Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. So Gadadhar Pandit is an expert reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he wants to hear from Gadadhar Pandit. Every day they will be having discussion of Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit will recite and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will listen. So that's how they are so intimate. So Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur actually sings in a bhajan that Smara Gaura Gadadhara Kelikalam Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshacharam Shrinu Gaura Gadadhara Charukatam Bhaja Godruma Kanon Kunjavidum. So he says, remember Gaura Gadadhara during the time of their pastimes. Meditate on Gaura Gadadhar, the divine couple, the par excellence of beauty. Hear beautiful discussions on the topics of Gaura Gadadhar and worship them in the forest grove of Godruma, bathed in the light of moon. So this is how he explained that we should hear about the pastimes of Gaur and Gadadhar. So this is a very beautiful, because it's not different from listening about Radha and Krishna, right? So because they are not different, they are the incarnation of Radha and Krishna. So we should hear about Gaur and Gadadhar. So and so when coming to Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, so Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur is a very, very expert in everything. So he born in West Bengal, and actually his appearance also, it's very, very important at that particular time, because Krishna comes and he try to share this knowledge, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya, Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. Every yuga he comes to re-establish the religion which was faded. And then after Krishna, so then the different Sampradaya devotees comes. So Sat Goswamis were there. So Sat Goswami, so they were actually reviving the pastime places and all those things. It was done. And after Sat Goswami, so there was a little gap. So after that, Shyamananda Pandit, Srivas Thakur, and Narottam Das Thakur. So they three came. So they three came, and then they were distributing, they were initiated the book distribution. So they are the first person who initiated the book distribution. And that's the parampara which we are continuing. So they were actually writing the scriptures and they were distributing it. So that's how this Gaudiya parampara continued. And then after that, Vishwanath Chakravarti and Vidyabhushan, Baladev Vidyabhushan, so they came and they distributed. And after that, there is a big gap. In that, so what happened is, so in that gap, uh, many Appa Sampradayas came. So lot of Appa Sampradaya. So Appa Sampradaya means, so they look like a Vaishnava Sampradaya, but they are not. So like for example, Prakrita Sahajyas. So the Sahajyas, so what they say that, oh, we have to, if we want to become a pastime in Radha and Krishna's Leela, so we have to become a Sakhi. And for that, like we have to make ourselves like a Sakhi. And so even the men, they started dressing like a women, and they started roaming in the places, and they show themselves like a Sakhi. And so this is all, actually this is not Sahajya, so they are called Sahajyas. So they looks like a devotee, but they are in the upper sampradaya. That is not actually given in the original sampradaya line. And there are some people, so they actually uh, 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 yeah, there are different upper sampradaya which is mentioned. um, okay, so this is how, like, many people, they try to bring their own understanding and whatever they understand, so they try to give those kind of sampradayas. So that's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur specifically came to actually destroy all these upper sampradayas. So almost like it is mentioned, there are 13 upper sampradaya was very prominent at that particular time. So, and people were actually started following those Upper Sampradaya. So, Brahma Samaj, so that is also one of that Upper Sampradaya. So, that's how, like, the Bhaktivinoda Thakur appearance was very important. So, because Krishna sent his pure devotees whenever this kind of things which happen to get away from the original parampara. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur appeared. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was in the age of 2, it is mentioned when he was in the age of 2, and actually his name was Kedarnath. So he was writing poetry at the age of 2. And then at the age of 9, he was giving lectures on Mahabharata and Ramayana. And that much expert and talented is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And when at the age of 9, he finished his study of astrology. And then he thought this is not going to be worth to study or spend time. And then he moved. So, and then like his life history, if we see that he is such an expert that he is actually become a magistrate, high court judge. So he was a grihastha and he had 10 children. And it, the amazing thing is, so the British, because that time, like when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was here in this world, so that time British government was going. And the British was actually so much have respect for Bhaktivinoda Thakur because he was as a magistrate, right? So he was a high court judge. And the way that he deals the cases, that in a normal person can able to deal that cases like 8 hours if he want to spend to finish that work. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur can able to finish in 2 hours. So he is such an expert in his work. So much so that British government specifically laid the train track for Bhaktivinoda Thakur from his home, from the front of his home, from there till the court. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur later he was telling that, okay, my time is getting wasted in traveling to the court, like I can do the work from my home. So he was telling, then British government actually told like, no, you don't have to travel much. Like we were giving train directly from your home and you can come. Just specifically for Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they put the train track. So we can understand how much Bhaktivinoda Thakur was respected and honored because of his talent and expert. So, and in so much so that like when Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes something, whatever he writes, British government will publish that. And in that in that century, like where that days, it is not so easy to think that whatever that written in Bengali, that can go to some other part of the state itself, right? So, but the influence of Bhaktivinoda Thakur writings, so in his time itself, so it went to Canada University. His book was become a part of Canada University. So we can think how much Bhaktivinoda Thakur talent is. He is an expert in his work, and also he is an expert grihastha. So and he is an expert preacher, and he is the one who started Bhakti Vriksha. Right, so now we are doing this Bhakti Vriksha module. What we are doing is actually started by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur wants this knowledge to be shared. So what is Bhakti Vriksha module? So what is Bhakti Vriksha means? Like, it is not like one place everyone comes. So not just that is enough. So we want to spread more. So that's why he told, like, even if one person knows about Krishna, then he start explaining about that. So, and then that person, if he knows and then he start explaining, he will bring more people. So this is how the vriksha means it started expanding. So the bhakti started expanding to many, many people. Many people got that fortunate to connect to Krishna. So that was so given by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And the most important, the way that Bhakti Vinod Thakur preaching is through his poet. So through his poet, like he, by writing, by studying his bhajans, so no one have to study Bhagavad Gita. Just by studying his bhajan, one can able to actually perfect his life. He understand all philosophy of Bhagavad Gita just by studying his bhajan. So very beautiful bhajan, like some bhajan I just wanted to say that Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago, Gaur Chandra Bole, Kota Nitra Java Maya, Pishachira Kole. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Lord Gauranga is calling, wake up, sleeping souls, wake up. How long will you sleep in the lap of a witch called Maya? So don't think that this world is so much of happiness and you can live here permanently. This is Maya. Just get up and chant the holy name of Gauranga. That is the only way which can protect us from this darkness of ignorance. Right? So he's and also there are this is one of the way that he is trying to convince us to chant. And also he is saying that some people might say that, oh, only in the sannyas life one can able to chant. In the family life it is very tough, like people will say that. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur write this specifically for that. Griheta ko vaneta ko bolo hari bol. So even if you are a family person, or if you are a 1A person, like basically a sannyasi living in the forest, whatever condition it is, bol Hari bol. So you have to chant the holy name of Hari. That is the only way which will help us, right? So that is how he is actually teaching us to chant. And also he expressed his heart to Krishna. And in that way also he is teaching. This is another bhajan. Vidyara vilashe khatainu kala parama sahase ami. So this translation, if you read, this is actually the material life what we are trying to do, and this is, there is no meaning of it. So what is I will just read the translation. With a great enthusiasm, I spent my time in the pleasures of mundane learning and never worshipped your lotus feet. Reading on and on, my hopes grew and grew, and for I consider the acquisition of material knowledge to be a life's true goal. Right? So this is how we are. We are spending our so much of life in just studying the mundane things and acquiring a material knowledge, and we think that that is our true goal. And how fruitless those hopes turned out to be, for all my knowledge proved feeble. Now I know that all are ignorance, and so-called knowledge is born of a flickering potency of Maya, and this is the impediment to the execution of devotional service. So, indulging in mundane knowledge verily makes an ass of the eternal soul by encouraging his infatuation with this temporary world. By studying that, what we are getting? We are getting so much infatuated this material enjoyment, this illusory enjoyment. And in this way, I am wasting my time. There is no hope. By if we do like this, there is no hope. When will I take shelter of you? When will I come to you and get attracted to you? So this is a prayer from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And actually, he is teaching in this way that, so this is not our life. So we think that studying and going to work and living a material life is what the so-called society, they think that success of a person is measured by his how much he studied and how much he accumulated. But that is not going to be a success unless he acquires some spiritual knowledge, because everything, whatever he learned in material things or whatever he acquired material, that is going to be gone once this body is done. So, but what we acquire, swalpam apyase dharmasya trayato mahatu bhayat, even if we acquire little spiritual thing, that will stay with us. It is a permanent bank account for us. So, in this way, the is actually just by bhajan. So just by giving this bhajan, he is actually teaching us our original purpose of the goal of life. And I will just end with this. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his regular, it is very open to all. Like even you can check in ISKCON Desire Tree when you put about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it is given what is his schedule every day, what time he will do, what time he will do what. So everything is very detailed schedule is given, and the summary is also given that how much time he will sleep is only 3 hours. He sleep for only 3 hours and he write for 8.5 hours. He wrote 8.5 hours, and then he spent for his personal study and japa 4.5 hours, and then he worked for 6 hours. So if we just see that, we will say so many excuses, like I'm working and I have my children, I have 2 children or 3 children, I have to manage my family. It is not possible that I can come to temple every day to do service and all these things we can't do. Spiritual life, yes, it is there. We have to do whatever minimal we can try. That's what we will do. So we always try to excuse ourselves with so many things. So that's why, as an acharya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is teaching that even being a grahastha, having 10 children, still how we can utilize the time in Krishna's service. So not just for himself, but preaching, giving this knowledge to others. So that is how our acharya is teaching that there is no hindrance of being a grahastha. We can able to advance in our bhakti life, even in the grahastha life. So it is all up to us. So it is all like we will have time what we want to do, but spiritual life it comes, so then we will say, oh, we don't have time for that, right? So that is all up to us. So if we want, then we will spend time, otherwise we will not. Like, and especially Krishna says that I am time in Bhagavad Gita. If we say that I have no time, that means we are saying I have no Krishna in my life. That is very deep. So that's why we should always try as much as possible to utilize our time. And of course, like we cannot imitate our acharya. So, okay, he slept only for 3 hours. So then I will also start from tomorrow that I will sleep for only 3 hours. So no, we should not imitate, but we have to take inspiration and we have to follow their instruction. So if we do that, that is a way that we can receive the mercy. We always go and ask blessings, right? Whenever we see some pure devotees and gurus, and then we will go and ask, oh, please bless us, Maharaj. So we will pray to Krishna, please shower your mercy. So what is a way that we can really receive the mercy? So we can receive the mercy when we follow their instruction automatically. You don't have to go and ask also. We will receive the mercy automatically when we follow their instructions. So on this auspicious day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance and Gadadhar Pandit's disappearance, so we beg mercy from both of these acharyas and of course Srimati Radharani. Ultimately, she is the embodiment of love for Krishna. So may we actually become an instrument by utilizing every moment in Krishna's service. Because for devotees, there is no material life and spiritual life. So it is only spiritual life. Whatever we do, if we do in the conscious of Krishna, then it is actually spiritual life. So may we try to imbibe that quality and try to utilize our time in the Lord's service. So in that way, and follow their instruction. So in that way, we can all become a proper instrument in Srila Prabhupada mission. So with that prayer, I'll stop here. So we can maybe chant Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Pranam Mantra. So maybe you can all repeat. Nama Bhakti Vinodhaya
Bhakti Vinodhaya
Satchidananda Namine
Sachidananda Namine
Gaura Shakti Swarupaya
Gaura Shakti Swarupaya
Rupanugavarayate.
Rupanugavarayate
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai.
Jai
Shri Gadadhar Pandit ki jai.
Jai
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vindi ki jai.
Jai
Jai Gaur Premanande
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much. Please. Thank you. Any questions or any comments?
Thank you very much, Mataji. Wonderful, wonderful class. Yeah, Bhakti Vinod Thakur's, we are saying the way you're saying. We always say that, I have office to go, and then we won't say that make money, but we say, oh, I need to go to work. I need to take care of my children like this. But that is not an excuse. And with that many children, taking care of the household, taking care of the work, and the way he was doing, that's a very good. We need to learn a lot. And even Gadadhar Pandit also, we need to learn a lot. Really, really, lot of things we need to know that we always do false excuses for our life, which is not correct. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur's, those bhajans, I love those bhajans. Yes, Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. Let's see, that it says in a Gorachand Pole, Maya Pisachirat. So that one is, the wording is very, very good, and how he wrote it. And at that early age also, he was gifted a child, I think, because Krishna sent him, like you said, Krishna sent him. That is what the thing, otherwise 2 years and 9 years, he was that brilliant. No way.
Yeah.
So that's really amazing. So I just got a lot of things that I came to know today because of this. But Thakur's bhajans, I just do sing. But that the way he was telling, even Britishers, they didn't. I heard that they didn't treat that good or like that. They used to say, but when I heard this, they were amazing with him. That is really, that's something I have to really. Today I came to know a lot of things from you, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you
God
so
bless you. Krishna's blessings to you also.
This is my only shelter to please all of you. By that mercy, we can get some mercy.
Yeah, because Krishna's mercy is there with you, with your child, and you are also grihastha. You are doing that service. That's really very good. You're spreading the language message to everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. We can stop here.
Thank you so
Vancha
much.
kalpatarupasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnava ki jai. Jagat Krishna Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Mataji,
Mataji.
for the
Thank you
nice
so
class.
much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Very nice,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.